Hello, everybody and nobody, because this is just probably random live. I'm surprised if we'll even see anybody because it's so late. But this was the only time I could sit down last couple of days at the bench, and don't know when I'll be able to do that next. So I want to take advantage of the time I do have and kind of just sit down here and work on stuff. And right now we have one person watching. And we'll work on a little bit of stuff here tonight on the 66 GTO. Gotta work on the interior. Getting the interior stuff ready to go. There are people out there. I'm surprised. We're just hanging. Anybody wants to join in, the would help if I put my chat up so I could see it. Hey Boston, how you doing tonight? Today was a good day. For now. Subject to change without notice. We will see how things go. Okay, that hole is not nearly big enough. Go losing stuff here. That drill is too small. This one's going to be too big. We're basically to the point where almost about every other day right now she's having a breakdown. And it's kind of like right now. It's kind of like taking care of a 5-year-old. I mean, I can't hardly leave her on her own for very long because you never know what she's going to do or get into. So I can't. Can't get a whole lot done because it always seems. Okay, there, its way is up. I have to play it by ear, and some days, from noon to 6, she might be just fine, and like sometime in the early evening, she freaks out. Kind of the term they use for it is sundowners. The later in the day it gets, the more disoriented they get. But we're getting through it as best we can, day at a time, hour at a time sometimes, and then hopefully. Right now, I'm trying to get my brothers and sisters to give me a little bit of relief, so I'm not on this 24/7. But I understand they have lives too. So, but at least my one brother tries to come down 2 or 3 times a week and take her somewhere for a couple hours, so I can decompress. I'm going to work on the interior for the GTO a little bit tonight. I got it painted, and the color didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted, so I took and put a little bit of white pearl over the top of it, and I'm kind of actually liking the way it looks now. It's almost like a color shift now. If you hit it from the right angle, it looks silver. And if you change the angle, it turns to the kind of the root beer brown. Let's see. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up or not. So yeah, it's kind of brown, but if you catch it, when the light catches on it, it goes to silver, which I'm kind of liking. So I just put the white pearl on there right before we started, so I'm going to give that another half hour, 45 minutes, and I'll probably start putting some of the decals on that so I can get the body ready for foil. Hey Norm, how you doing tonight? I keep knocking stuff off here. Oh, I haven't been on the bench for seems like 2 weeks. Hasn't been that long, but almost. Everything's kind of not where I'm used to having it, and I'm knocking stuff all over the place. Okay, there's our door cards. We need to get our seats off. Where's my knife? There's my knife. Let me move the mouse out of the way. Hey, Mike, how are you tonight? And we've had the social workers and the physical therapists and the occupational therapists have been here all several days over the last couple of weeks. So it kind of means I have to be up extra early in the morning and make sure she's ready before they get here. And I have to kind of, I basically have to go out and meet them before they get here, and I have to bring them in as I come in the door. Otherwise, she gets real defensive when someone just knocks on the door and comes in. She gets real defensive about what they're doing there and stuff. So I have to hang out the entire time that the therapists are here. So I'm not even really much time off there. I figure, she took care of me the first third of my life, so I can probably take care of hers the last third of hers. It's a turnaround, it's fair play. What help I can get from the state and stuff, as long as the Medicare doesn't get cut, then and what my brothers and sisters can do, the goal is to keep her home as long as possible, because she doesn't do well outside of the house at all. So when that day comes that she has to go into the home, that's going to be devastating to her, and I think she's going to go downhill quick from there. So at least my goal is to keep her at home as long as possible. Hey, Jason. Oh, hey, Juan, how you doing tonight? As far as on that kind of root beer silver thing I got working, I will probably do the foil for the stripe, or not the stripe, the trim around the kick panel and for the window trim, and then I'll put the decals on for the badges and call it done. This one is just going to help complete my GTO collection. I built this kit once before, and actually that's the one that I sent to Jeff because he wanted one of my builds. So I'm revisiting that build. That was the one that he had a perfect paint job on it and was polishing it out, and some kind of debris got onto my polishing wheel. I don't know if it was a chunk of something on the end of the bottle or something, and it just tore the paint up on it. I was able to recover. I mean, I basically the same thing you would do with a real car. I had to sand down the whole side of the car and mask it off and reshoot it. It looked okay, but it wasn't as good as it could be. So it just went to live in my display case, and then Jeff said he wanted one, so that's what he got. So yeah, we will. Other than that, we're gonna probably. I did what? I got some kind of a center line style racing wheels that are wider. You know, the big littles that I'm gonna put on it. Get the camera to focus. We're gonna use those on there instead of the rally. The stock rallies, but other than that, and I got a 3D 3D printed big block 400 or Pontiac 3 deuce. That's a 3. I guess it'd be a 389 that we're putting in it. I got that one from Texas 3D, and I've got one of the Morgan distributors I put on it. So yeah, other than that, we're gonna just basically do it stock. I did have to, since I used a different engine transmission, I did have to make a new drive shaft, but that's okay. That's not hard to do. So yeah, I'm just working on the interior now while I'm waiting for the body to get ready to have decals and foil put on it. So that's where we're at there. And I started piddling around with my 70 Judge for the Dazed and Confused, but I need to get some. I don't have enough. I don't even know where to put it. Of the 40,000ths half round to do the vinyl top trim with. I don't have enough there to do it, so I got to go into town someday this week and grab some more of that. Then I can get started on that body on that one. And then I got to find a different engine because those AMT MPC Pontiacs, their motors always look way too small. The last one I did actually stole the engine from this kit because I was going to put a 3D one in here. And I've got a modern Pontiac V8 that I could put in there, but I think I'm going to source something else out. Maybe I'll break open one of those Novas and steal the engine out of that for Pickford's GTO. Everything else I got there, I got ready for it. I got the paint, I got the decals, I got the wing for it. I don't have a front spoiler, but we can live without a front spoiler. Or I can probably make one out from scratch if I really worried about it. My ACs don't want to fit together very well. Yeah, we got to do some filling on those seats, that's for sure. I don't remember fitting that poorly the last time I built this. Well, I guess. All right. Anybody else? Anything going on in there? Like everybody just saying hello to everybody else and all that kind of stuff. Yes, boys and girls, I do still use red tube glue when the occasion calls for it, especially when I got to do a little gap filling. Don't clamp up real good. All right. Oh, sorry, my stuff isn't, my comments weren't scrolling. Hey, Sluggo. No, thanks, Jason. I mean, we're doing the best we can to keep her out of the nursing home for as long as possible. So I got getting some help from my brothers and sisters, and then I got therapists coming a couple times a week to help me out and give me a little bit of a break, I guess, from dealing with her all the time. And then social worker comes and visits her once in a while too, so that kind of helps give me a little relief from that, because even though the focus is fully on her right now, I need to make sure I take care of myself too. There's wouldn't do much good if I ended up in the home right next to her, would it? In fact, I got to be a good boy in the next couple of weeks because I have a doctor's appointment coming up, and I probably need to lose a couple more pounds before that happens. So you gotta be careful what to eat and all that good stuff. Pretty much got my sugar under control, but hey, Jamie G, what's going on? The link is pinned to the top. If anybody wants to hop in, you're more than welcome to. There's our seats, steering wheel. There's my dashboard. So what did I do with my dashboard? The dash. Let me get it. I think I'm going to do a tan leather interior, leather-ish pleather, whatever you want to call it. Vinyl. I guess these were vinyl interior for this one, to go with the brown, silver brown, root beer kind of thing I got going on. Floorboard. Yeah. Before I started, I went over to Dan's Zoom, but nobody was home, so that's another reason I started a live. I was just going to jump in with them, but they were all gone. Okay. Okay. Dashboard. Door cards. I do really like when the door cards are separate from the tub. It makes painting and detailing so much easier. Get rid of some of these ejector pins. I don't think they'll make it matter the bit they're there, but let's get rid of them anyway. Oh, okay. Well, I usually do about one every 10 days or so, 8 to 10 days, depending on what it is. Some of them take longer than that. Last year I did like 50 builds, but I had a lot more bench time then. This year I have not been able to do that nearly as much, but let's see. We got, I could probably look real quick. Give you that answer to where we're at 6 months into the year. I've done a lot of live stream builds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, that was the DARP. Technically, it was done last year, but it didn't get revealed till this year. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, looks like 20, 23. Yes, I'm about on par for last year. Yeah, looks like I've finished 23 this year, but some of those are quick kits, like the Raptor I did just finished. The last one I finished, that was a snap tight kit. So even if I wouldn't have screwed up the paint, that would have been like a 2-day build, but ended up being longer because I screwed up the paint and had to do part of it over again. Well, I'm able to, it's time wise, days is very short, but hour wise, that's probably 40, 50, 60, maybe 80 hours actual time on the build, because I'm stuck here all day taking care of mom, and when I'm not actually having to sit there and be right next to her, when there's times I can set her up, or when she goes to bed, then I put in 8 or 10 hours on the model in a pop, Instead, I like a lot of them like that. The Monogram Lamborghini and the Revell Testarossa. They were like basic, simple builds, on a box builds. Even the Brian's Got Fuels group build one. I've got like 16 hours in on it so far, and it's about halfway done. I still have to do the interior, and I still have to finish the paint on it, and then do assembly, decals and assembly. So it's probably got another 8 to 12 hours left on it. Yeah, I would say maybe I do it between 6 to 10 days for each build, and some take longer. And there's a couple of them that are long-term builds or ongoing builds that are not really shelf queens, but they're ones I work on when I have nothing better to do, or I'm not interested. Nothing trips my trigger, like my my 148 scale V2 German V2 rocket. It's been sitting in primer for probably 6 months. I just need to start painting it. And then my brother's Arnie Bestwick Boss Bird. I need to get Terry to make the decals for it, and I still got to finish building the chassis because it's the chassis I've got is not the best, and I'm not, it's not holding my attention. So no, I don't have a meeting this Tuesday, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be here tomorrow night. It will be second Tuesday of the month, which would be next Tuesday. But it all depends on what kind of mood Mom is in, whether or not I can get away to have a live tomorrow night. I would say if I don't have anything, an upcoming page, showing an upcoming live on Facebook or YouTube by probably 5 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Eastern, then I'm probably not going to be there. But if there is one there, then most likely I'll be there. I don't know how long, but we'll probably be there. So those cure a little bit, then I get some filler on them. And some kits, they just fall, for me, they just seem to fall together. I mean, I don't have any big issues with them. But then others I do. I mean, so I've got basically 12 hours in on the 37 Ford, and I got probably 8 more hours to go, 10 more hours to go on it. So you're looking at doing 25 hours on one build with actual build time. That doesn't count like paint drying time and stuff like that. So, and yeah, about that Firebird funny car for my brother is about the only one that's really a stalled kit that I need to get. I need to get decals done. I may end up scrapping that chassis and look for something else to build a chassis for it. Look at one of the Revell ones or something, monogram ones, and I'll modify it to make it fit, because it doesn't it's just not going together the way I would like. What is that? I think it's the Polar Lights. I don't even remember no more. It is. Polar Lights. I couldn't remember if it was Mobius or Polar Lights. It's a Polar Lights chassis. I mean, I got it mostly together, but I'm still not happy with it. So I may blow it apart and see about redoing it, or I may look for something else a different chassis for that. That's really the only stall kit I have is that one. And so I'm waiting for. I need to get stuff. I need to get some half round to do the trim on for Pickford's 70 GTO Judge, because it had the vinyl top on it. And also I'll need that for doing the Reggie Dunlap's 70 GTO from Slapshot. That one had a vinyl top on it also. So I'm probably going to do those two in tandem. So I'm waiting for parts on that one. Still waiting, collecting stuff for the 12 scale Camaro, and collecting stuff for the was the 16 scale or 12 scale, whatever, or 16 scale, I guess it is, 57 Bel Air convertible kit that I got. I want to do kind of a resto mod on it. So I'm waiting on stuff for that one, collecting stuff for that one, and and just whatever trips my trigger when it's time to start the next one. I got like five builds, I guess, get planned for the Dazed and Confused group build over the course of the year. Of course, we'll be doing Pickford's GTO. We're going to be doing Melba Toast. We're going to do the Firebird from the cruise scene, the 68 Firebird from the cruising scene there. And we're going to do White Lightning, which was a 74 Trans Am. I'm going to try and modify a 70 to look more like a 74 by changing the taillights, because there's not a 74 Trans Am kit is like hen's teeth. Yeah, I've been looking at that at Willie's Gasser to maybe look at if it's like the one that I built way back then. I don't even remember what brand it was. The parts were great, but they didn't work well together. It was a panel truck. Let me look, see what it was. I'm trying to remember what it was. I'll look it up. It's been a long time. Where's my completed build folder? Completed builds. 33 Willis. I don't know if I have a picture of. The AMT 33 Willis van was the one that I built. This is the one that I built, and I got it to work, but it wasn't great. Let's see if I got. Here's what I ended up with there after it was said and done. But there's a lot of great parts. It has a nice flathead. Let's see if let me find better pictures. Back to here. There we go. Let me get it back over here so I can share it. Yeah, I know that it's a repop. I'm not sure if it's the same. If it shares the same parts with this one or not. This is the one that I built. I built this one for Kenny May down at Moonwalker Models. Kind of an appreciation build. It ended up had to do quite a bit of modification to get it to go together, because it had great parts, but they didn't fit well together. Pretty much had to modify just about everything to get it to go into one piece. And he's big into the NASA and sci-fi stuff. That's why it has the NASA badges and stuff on it. Yeah, we wired up the magneto on that and that bad boy and stuff. So the engine was really nice. It just didn't. I had to change the bug catcher because it didn't. You couldn't open and close the hood with the one on that came with it. Because it would not. The one that came with it would not fit through that hole. So you had to be able to have to take it off to open the flip nose. If I have any Interior picture. Well, there wasn't much of an interior to begin with, but there's the underside. Yeah, we did a wood grain for the bottom and all that good stuff. I mean, in the end, I got it to all work, but it had to do a lot of fitting to get it. They had to cut down the top of the transmission and all kinds of stuff to get it to fit. So I'm not, if it's based on this same tooling, then I'm not sure how good it would go. But I mean, if it's a different, I mean, definitely it's a different body. Is the one I was. Dan, I'm going to try to be. It all depends on Mom. If I don't have a upcoming video on my channel by say 5 o'clock or so Central Time, then no. But if it's one up, then I'm going to try to do it. Yeah. So the one I built, that panel truck shared a lot of parts with the coupe, interior parts and frame parts and stuff, and so yeah, all night the parts were all nice. They just didn't fit together with each other. It's like took a part from here and a part from there and a part from here, and they just threw them all in the box. But yeah. But I may look at one when they come out. I'm looking to say when we get that 37 pickup done, I'll probably do some other 30s type car. Hey Jimmy, one I'd really like to do, but I don't think there's a kit of, would be a 39 Mercury Roadster. There's a 37 Ford, which is very similar, but it's not exactly the same. And it's just always been one of my. I just really like the looks of that car, and I'm not really a Ford guy, or Mercury guy. Same difference, I guess. But yeah, I really like that particular car. Okay, this should be dry enough to do the decals on. Let that stuff there. Work on the seats. So there's no sense in start painting the other stuff till I can paint the seats too. This Revell 66 GTO does come with a very nice set of decals. You want to get the, what is it, the American, what do they call it, the Revell Muscle version of the kit. It comes with the red line. Comes with factory red line tires and really nice decal sheet and all that stuff. They've repopped this kit several times, but that Revell Muscle kit is the better of the bunch as far as goodies. Okay. In fact, I bought several of these kits that were open missing parts just to take the decal sheets out of them. And they give you both black and chrome badges, so depending on the color you're painting the car, you can adjust. So you don't have to put black badges on a black car where you would never see them, stuff like that. Which one goes on the trunk? I have to remember which number goes on the trunk. I don't know. I've not gone on the scale maze to do the deep dive onto which one was which as far as the Willys. I know that they brought out several times different versions of it. The 66 GTO decal sheet does include floor mats, includes all your gauges, it includes your wood grain for your dash, and the badge stripe for the dash for the dash. It also has the door badges. Again, they have two different color arrowheads for the hood, depending on the color of the car. Clock decal has under hood decals for it. Then you also get different various pinstriping for the side if you want to put pinstripes on it. Did I lose one? Oh, I didn't cut it out. That's why. So I should have one more. And that Willis panel truck, I picked it up at a show, I think in Chicago, probably about 10 years ago. I think I paid $10 for it, so I wasn't too upset that it wasn't a great kit, but come on now, I quit doing that. I hate ScaleMates. Their search engine is so messed up. Willys Coupe, let's see. Yeah, it's just a 40 Willys Coupe is just a repop with different decals. It goes back to the 1963 tooling. And in 87, they added a few new parts. Added a few more parts in 2003. Yeah, so it's been anything later than 2003 is the same except for decals. But it is not the same. It's not the same one that I had built, that panel truck. That one they repopped in 2022. And they put it out as the paddy wagon at one time. Let's see, they changed the hood on that one it's got a different hood than what mine had. Anyway, yeah, so it looks like that new one is the yeah, there was basically like 2003 was the last time they changed any parts in it. Let's do that one first. This is but I really don't need no new kits right now. If something pops up at me, I'll grab it. But there's a new Ollie's opening up here in 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to sneak up there and see what they have when it opens up on the 16th. So, but I really don't need it. In fact, I got one on a bid and on now on eBay that I didn't really need it, but I don't know. I just did it anyway. I got enough kits that probably last me the next 20 years. I really don't need no more. But when has that ever stopped anybody? Yeah, the one I had did not have the 33. Did not have any. It had the interior parts looked like they were for a pickup, but it had no other. If I remember, and it's been a while since I built it. It didn't have any of those other parts in it. I think it mainly just has to do with when they ran the printing on what if they had the different gates blocked off or not, or if they had multiple tool sections for that car, if they had alternate ones. It's like a 55 Bel Air. Some of them have the Nomad parts in them, and some don't. It's just a luck of the draw when you open the box if you're getting the extra Nomad gasser parts or not. I'm going to pay the water bill, guys. I'll be right back. I'll go through my paint pretty quick. I don't have it doesn't settle too much. At least all the ones I use on a regular basis, I should say. Not really yet. In which case, let me grab the next one to get them started. Yeah, Kevin, there's good days and there's bad days. Today was a pretty good day. Saturday and Sunday were not. Just never know. Every day is a new adventure. Almost from minute to minute, things can go up or down. The only thing that's guaranteed is when she gets mad at me because I'm the one that's around here. Anybody else comes around, she perks up just happy as a clam. Yeah, we just deal with it. The only thing I'm hoping is that it's not coming attractions for me. I mean, her mom had it, she's got it. Hopefully it skips a generation, I'm hoping, or more. Or maybe they'll figure out what causes it and can prevent it in the near future. Because her dad was the exact opposite. I mean, his body was, he was sick all the time, and he was pretty messed up physically. But until like a day before he died, when his brain just couldn't get enough oxygen anymore, he was as sharp as a tack. Oh, the front end looks cool without the bumpers. Yeah, it'll look pretty cool with a bumper in there too. GTO's had a pretty good look to them. Go in there. I can't get it in there right now with it attached. Yeah, they had a pretty good look, and those grills will get all blacked out. So and the only ones I ever have to really mix for a long time is the, and again, it's because I don't use them that often, is the AK Extreme Metal, because it's basically there's the liquid and the solid. There's no, there's no pigment in it. You've got the colored fine metallic pieces in it for your color, and then it's got the carrier liquid, and you're basically you're clear. So it's you got to really get those shaken up good. If they're shaken, they stay. You got it in airbrush and stuff. It doesn't separate. But need to break down and get me a new set of tweezers too. But I like these so much. I've retipped and reshaped the tips on them so many times. There ain't a whole lot of them left. Been using this set for probably 10, 12 years, and I just basically just worn the tips down. I've sanded them, repointed them several times. I have to burn the gook off of them every now and then. I just really like them. The amount of tension they have and the way they hold. Find stuff without flinging it off into space. Usually. I won't say that they never have flung something off into space, but they do a pretty good job of holding on to stuff. Okay, one more. One more decal for the body. Oh, is that the one where you put the little metal rod down in there and it's got the magnet underneath the spins? Oh, okay, the vibrating one. Can go in the dash. Yeah, 16 or 18. Okay. I think he's catfishing you there, Kevin. I don't see anything on Joe Rogan passing. Yep. I need to break down and get one of those little holders for this stuff before I knock it over. Because I'm real good at doing crap like that. I use the micro saw when I don't have anything too aggressive as far as decals. If I need something a little more aggressive to go over some really rough areas, then I will go to the Walther Solvus set. I imagine this sander would do a good job on it too. Yeah, it's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still really good. The old stuff I used to cut with water because it was too strong. The stuff they're putting out now is pretty much right on. But yeah, if I've got like heavy, you're going over heavy details or stuff, then I use the Solvus set. A lot of times I'll use the Microsoft first, and that'll kind of sink it, set everything in place, and then I'll come back with the Solvus set to get into the places where it's really got to sink down, like into grills and if you're doing like hood stripes, where it's got to go down into the vent and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm kind of happy. See if I can probably do this. I can put it back on. Yeah, I'm really kind of liking the way that paint turned out. Because when the light catches it, changes. That white lightning pearl changes it from the root beer color to a silver. I kind of really like that. But when I get a clear on it, it's going to be really cool. Okay, let's put you up here to dry. Tomorrow, hopefully, I can work on. Yeah, thanks, Edward. Yeah, she seemed to be having a good day today, so I kind of took advantage of it when she was content to sit down and watch television. Watch Star Trek came on, and she was happy to watch that, so I came down here to the bench, and I thought, well, what the hell? Nobody was on the Zoom, so I just figured I'd turn on live and see what happens. So we're here. I'm gonna try to be here tomorrow, but like I said, if you don't see a notification by 5 o'clock or so, then I probably won't be. But I'm sure gonna try because I need some alone time, some me time. I need to find my putty too. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Is it up here still? This is what happens when you go away for 2 weeks. You can't find shit anymore. I don't want that one. That was too aggressive. I think this one's all dried out. Yeah, no, it's all separated. Even worse. That one is no bueno. Ah, there it is. I need some more. Gonna need some more. It's actually root beer. I put a gold base down, put the root beer on it, and the gold wasn't coming through the way I liked. And just for giggles, I had some white pearl, and I just decided to shoot a light coat of white pearl on it just to see how it looked. I did the hood first in case I didn't like it. I could always backtrack easily enough. And I liked it, so we shot white pearl over the root beer, over the gold, and I'm kind of liking what we got. Say in person, it's almost like a color shift, depending on the angle of the light to the car. You either see it as the brown root beer color or the white pearl. See if I can. So you're getting the root beer there. Or bring it around and turns to silver with the white pearl. I'm really liking it. I think once it gets a coat of clear on it, it's really gonna pop. Let me do this. Let me try this. See if it shows it better. Let me turn this light on. I'll turn this one off. Yeah, you're going from the root beer to the. No, that one's not really helping. But in person, it looks good. There you're getting we're seeing it almost side on, and it's the root beer, and it's more closer to flat, more silver it turns. Yeah, I really like the way it's looking. Turn this one back out. That one shines in my face. Okay. Yeah, I just have the my little polisher, aka dog groomer, battery operated Dremel thingy, low speed. That works pretty good for that. And for drilling, I just use pin vices. I got like 3 or 4 of them, depending on the size of the drill bit. These are the 2 I use almost all the time, almost exclusively. These 2 seem to fit 99% of the holes I need to drill. I like mine because it's not as high as RPM as a regular Dremel or something like kind of air tool. So it's got a little more control, and it doesn't have a ton of torque. So if it like catches, like if you were polishing along and you were to catch on a corner, like if you catch on the front of this or something with the wheel, it'll stop. It won't rip the piece out of your hand or bite into the plastic. And I can probably polish 2 or 3 cars out of one charging with the USB, and then you can actually even just plug it into the USB and run it straight off USB power too. If the battery's dead. I think it was like $25 on the Amazon on the river that has everything. So they sell it as the pet grooming tool. The Hordell Mini cordless rotary tool. But it's got low torque and it's got low RPM, so you can and it's fairly quiet. And so if it catches on something, it stops. It doesn't rip this part out of your hand or something like that. Then you can jack it up, middle speed and high speed. But even its high speed is probably lower than most regular Dremels. And it was like $25. And it came with all the regular Dremel type stuff. Got 3 different collets. You got some of the stone grinders. You've got a plastic, I'll call it a plastic wire brush thing. A flat plastic wire brush. And then the replaceable sanding drum. Ones with probably 3 or 4 different grits in here of the replacement drums. Then I get the polishers again off of Amazon. They're like $1 a head. And I'll use them for 2 or 3, and then I'll replace them. These are the string ones. These are the ones, the string ones, and they'll flatten out when you start running them. I usually use 2 at a time because I've got one for my coarse polish and one for the fine polish. And when the fine polish one starts getting that kind of nasty, I move it up to coarse and start a new one for the fine. And I keep knocking shit over tonight. There we go. Yeah, I've got a bunch of the carbon, high carbon ones, high speed carbon micro drill bits. Yeah, I get these ones from Harbor Freight. You get two different ones in a package of you get two of each size, or whatever the sizes are on them. I've never paid attention to the number of sizes on them, but yeah, you get two of each one in a package. There's like 12. What is there? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 10 different sizes in a package. Those the ones I have, you have to be real careful with. They're real brittle. If you bend them, tweak them a little, just too much, they'll pop. And if you drop, especially the fine ones, if you drop it, it's done for. It'll break every time when it drops, when it hits the floor. When I was doing a lot more model railroading, I used to buy the size 76 through size 80 drill bits. Just buy them 10 at a time. About once a month, I'd have to get a new set. I'd go through breaking them damn things all the time. Well, it's a lot of right place, right time type thing. I mean, go back to the VCR days. The Betamax was a higher quality system and stuff, but obviously they weren't compatible. VHS and Beta were different formats, different sizes, and everything. And they couldn't really figure out a standard until the porn. What did it was the porn industry decided to go VHS, and that kind of sealed the deal. We still have a Betamax machine here, and it still works. I don't think I have any tapes left for it, but I know we got a machine here, and I believe it still works. I still have a Discman and a Walkman, and a Discman still. I had the FM modulator to get so you could listen to your CDs in the car. And also had, if you didn't have the cassette player in your car, to put the cassette adapter in. Well, there used to be an electronics factory about 15 miles from where I live now. Well, it was an assembly plant, and they made basically the same radios and tape players and stuff for like 20 different brands, and all they would do is put different tags on, different badging on it. In fact, all right, we'll see you later, Red. Depending on what day was and what the order was, whether they put, depending on what badge they put on it. That was back in the boombox days. Yeah, they would have. And any of them that didn't quite pass QC, they'd sell in the outlet store, and they would put a Grand Prix sticker over whatever brand name was on the cassette player or the radio or boombox, whatever it was. Yeah, my dad bought one of the big Sony laser discs when it came out. I don't know how much they paid for that. The disc was the size of a 33 LP, and you had to turn it over halfway through the movie. I don't know how much he paid for it, but it was a ton. When I bought my first CD player, it was probably the home one for the stereo. It was probably $250 or $300. That would have been in the late 70s, early 80s. I probably still owe Columbia House $19.99 for some albums that I got back in 1983. Oh yeah. Yeah, I probably paid for my first Windows machine, which was like Windows 3.1. I probably paid $1,000 for it, $1,500 for it. And it was so freaking slow. When I get up in the morning and go take a shower, I'd run by the computer and turn it on. By the time I took a shower and shaved and made my coffee and come back, it was just about booted up. And then comparing to the one I bought, the one I'm using right now, a Windows 11 laptop that has, I think I paid $200 for it. And it's got everything times 100 that machine, that 3.1 machine had in it. Except for it doesn't have a disk, doesn't have any disk drives. No floppy disk or no CD-ROMs, DVD-ROMs. Drives in it. Of course, nobody uses them anymore. It didn't have as much memory on this one as I would have liked, but I just use it for this, so it doesn't matter. I just put a flash card in it for like all my pictures and stuff. About twice a year, I take it to the other computer and update it with all the new stuff, so that one chip has all the 2,000 or 3,000 pictures or whatever it is that I have of different builds. Oh yeah, my buddy had the Apple IIc when I was still in school, and I thought that was the hottest shit around, man. With the monochrome green screen, and I don't even think the resolution was 256. I think it was probably lower than that. It had a 5.5-inch floppy drive, and it had a tape drive on it. After when I graduated high school, the high school had exactly one computer for the entire school, student body to use. And in the first 2 years I was in college, you could check. They had like 4 computers in the library for student use, and like 3 or 4 that you could check out over the weekend if you needed to work on something over the weekend, like word processing stuff, because there was no internet. And then the only other way in school you had access to a computer was if you were in one of the business classes that used them, and those were uh, the National Business Machine ones. Yeah, we wanted to get a disc, but where we live in a hole, you couldn't get a clear view of the southern sky to have a dish. So we were on our antenna. Even our antenna was like 80 feet tall, barely to get signal. And so we didn't have jack shit until we got cable. And now I'm running. I stream everything over gigabyte fiber connection, and everything is just there instantly. Hey, Mark. Mine, that Windows 3 unit, I know it was the CPU was probably at least $1,000. I don't remember sure. And then the monitor was probably another $300 or $400. And it was a CRT monitor. It wasn't a flat screen. I think it had came with 16 meg of RAM and slots to put in 32 more. I think is what it had. It was probably a Intel 46 chip in it too. Oh God, they were improving like every 6 weeks. You got a newer, faster, better. The reason about that one is because I needed it for work. I got tired of having to sit in the office all night long doing P&Ls and stuff because I didn't have time during business hours because I had to be on the floor in the kitchen supervising and stuff. So I had to after service, I had to sit down and do all my paperwork, and I got tired of doing it sitting there all night long. So I got one for the house and set up a dial-up connection between the work computer and the home computer so that I could do my paperwork and spreadsheets and profit and loss and cost analysis and all that crap, all that you got to do at home on the home computer. Didn't get anything done any quicker, but at least I could do it sitting at home instead of sitting in that damn office. Yeah, and the light, I'm looking at this more, it almost looks like a rusty gunmetal. Like a gunmetal with a little bit of rust on it, the color, so I'm really liking that. I need to... Let's stick that in there. Yeah, I didn't upgrade computer until it got to the point where it just wasn't supported no more. The software that I wanted to use was just, that computer just couldn't handle it anymore. So then I upgraded and bought a would have been around 2000 because it was the Millennium Edition, Windows Millennium, Windows ME. I used it and probably until about the XP machine, probably about 2007, 2008 when I upgraded to an XP machine, and then that was a laptop for that, and the screen died on it. The lighting on the display died. The computer still works, but you had to hook it up to a different monitor because the screen on the laptop didn't work anymore. Yeah, and then I've been all laptops since then. I do have a couple of tablets, but I've had like 3 tablets and I keep breaking the stupid things. And they don't want to work or boot up right all the time. The one I dropped and cracked the screen, and then broke the charging port, so you had to wiggle it just right to get it to charge. And the other one doesn't want to charge up at all. You quit taking a charge. Won't even turn on. I plug it in and the charging light will come on for a second and go off, and you try to turn it, boot it up, and it just shows an empty battery icon on the screen and turns off. And you really can't get in there, I guess, to change the batteries on those, so I just haven't used it ever since. Okay. Well, I liked having my tablets because I had to click on the docking keyboard so you could use it like a laptop docked, or you could use it as a tablet. I liked having it that way, but yes, I quit working. And I never got around to buy a new one. I just bought another laptop for out here to use for my streaming. And for looking shit up while I'm trying to do builds, looking up pictures of builds and stuff like that. That's all I use this one for. My bigger one is in the other room. That has all the good stuff on it. But it's not quite fast enough for streaming. It will stream, but it doesn't like it. So I just use it for all the other stuff. That, and it's got the photo editing software and movie editing software that I like. So that's why we keep that one. Who haven't you seen? Oh, Marcy was on. Where did I see her last? She was on Cliffs a couple weeks ago. She was on another one. She was on Terry's little history one on the other day. She was in the chat on the Friday afternoon one. But I haven't been able to be on much other ones other than his because of the time of the day. Works out for me because usually Mom's not up doing much at that time in that 12 to 1:30 time slot. She's usually not doing a whole lot, so I can sneak away and get on live with him for an hour or so. What time is it now? Speaking of which, we're probably gonna go about 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna shut this off. Go find me something to munch upon. Yeah. Well, she's kind of in the same boat I am. She's got to take care of her dad, and then she's got a job and stuff. So. That's like all the shit we lived through. 5G ain't gonna do jack shit to you. I mean, we all survived lead paint, red dye number 2, and dioxin, and all this other crap. I mean, if none of that killed us, I ain't worried about 5G. See you later. Yeah, we're gonna do like quarter after, about 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go find something to eat, something without sugar in it, which means it's gonna suck, but. Yeah, the Caricone, all that crap. Asbestos. We survived all that shit, so. Yeah, eat the school paste. Yeah. Well, we led a lot simpler lives. I mean, we could be entertained for hours by that stupid thermometer bird that dipped in the water, the drinking bird with a thermometer in it. You know. So. I didn't eat it. I didn't think it tasted good. It smelled good. I had one of the teachers in school that would take it, had that big marker, the big brown cylinder with the black cap, and would sniff it all the time, getting high off of the marker. I did had a teacher that would do that all the time. I mean, hell, they would sell. You go down to the hardware store and buy a quart of methanol for your Cox airplane. You know that's basically lighter fluid. In fact, hell, you could buy lighter fluid. Nowadays, if you're under 40, they only want to sell you spray paint. No, we did stupid stuff because we lived out in the farm. We actually still had a crank telephone when I was a kid. The one you had to, like on Beverly Hillbillies or Petticoat Junction, where you had to crank it. They called the operator. And so we would get bored, and the thing would be you'd lick your fingers and put your finger on each side of the post, and somebody else would start cranking that thing, and you see how long you could last before you had to pull your fingers off. So we were like low key electrocuting ourselves. The farm, we kept M80s around because every time you had to clean the stock tank, you'd throw a couple of M80s in there because that was the easiest way to get the water out of the stock tank. You'd tape a couple of M80s to rocks and you throw them in there, and they'd pop and knock 85% of the water out of the tank. You could get in there and scrub it down. And we all survived lawn darts too, so hey, you know, it's been doing something right. Rode bicycles without helmets. Knew the importance of the turning on of the street light. We all survived. So all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down for tonight. So I'm gonna try and be on at 7 o'clock Eastern normal time. If something comes up, I'll post something in my community page, or say if you don't see the thumbnail for the upcoming live by like 5-6 o'clock, then that means I'm not gonna be there. So, but hopefully I will be able to. So thank everybody for coming in. We still got 10 people watching. Glad you were here. Got to have a little conversation tonight, and we will see you guys next time. Night, everybody.